Hello and welcome to the channel. Thank you for being here. Huzzah! The day is won, the build is finally done, and now I get to finally bring it to you and show it to all of you, and I am very, very excited. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this build was a bit of a doozy. It wasn't as easy as I thought it was originally gonna be, but really it never is when you're dealing with like brand new computer parts that you've never used before. Generally they're, you know, all a little bit similar, but these particular parts that I got were a bit more high-end than I'm used to, and there were a couple different features that I've never used before, so it took me a little bit longer. So sorry if this video took me, you know, too long to come out to you guys, but did my best and I tried to do it as fast as I could. Of course, there's going to be a lot of benchmarks here at the end of the video, so that's really what took the longest, so we'll get onto those later. But first, what I want to do is, I want to go through a couple things that took place with the build and kind of give you guys a little bit of insight if you guys are going to end up building your own Ryzen 3000 build or any kind of build in the future anyway. I want to give you guys a couple little tips and a couple little tidbits on how this particular build back here went and how the particular parts worked with each other. So to be 100% honest with you guys and upfront with you, like I said, it was not as easy as I thought it was going to be, and that was mainly coming down to the case that I chose. So I chose the Corsair Crystal Series 570X, like I mentioned in the last video, and it's a beautiful case. I absolutely love it. That build looks absolutely stunning back there, and honestly, I'm very glad I chose the case. But there are a couple caveats. So the first being that it comes with a set of fans that I didn't even end up using, so of course I had to rip those out, put new ones in. But the case does come with these mounting brackets that you can actually just quickly unscrew all the fans and screw new ones in, and then pop that bracket in the front of the case or the top of the case, and it makes it a little bit easier for you. But what really got me on this case was the cable management. So like I said in one of my previous videos, I said I was gonna have to really try really hard with this case when it came to cable management, and honestly, after like an hour of doing it, I sort of just gave up on it, and I just kind of packed it all in there as best as I could, got everything to work, and I kind of just left it as is, because honestly, if you look back there, you're not going to really see that panel anyway, even though it is tempered glass. It's kind of cool that you can see the hard drives and stuff back there, but other than that, it looks just like a tangled mess of wires, because my particular build has so many different wires in it because of the RGB fans and the LED strips and all that kind of stuff. It was like, I found it very difficult to hide all of those different cables. So that was my main concern when going into this build. Just wanted to be upfront with that with you guys. I didn't do some like insanely crazy cable management, so I won't be showing that. But just to keep that in mind for you guys, if you're going to be using this case, it is very difficult, and just keep that in mind if you have a lot of cables like I do. But you guys didn't click on this video to hear me ramble on about my build process in this video, so I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys know that the benchmarks I'm choosing to do, I did a bunch of synthetic benchmarks, which just basically tax the GPU and the CPU and show you guys kind of like a benchmark to show how those two things work in conjunction with each other for different types of workloads. And then also I did about, I think I did 10 different games. And I chose ones that I normally play or I benchmark all the time because they have benchmarks integrated into the game. So if you guys were wondering why I chose these specific benchmarks, that's why. So without me saying anything else, let's go on to the benchmarks, and you guys will finally get to see how this combination does. Here you go. Okay, so that was a lot of benchmarks, I know, but I wanted to be super thorough with this, and I actually wanted to do it for myself so I could actually see how my new system does, and I was very, very impressed by the performance of this system. I am not disappointed that I did not get the 3900X. I know in maybe a couple of the synthetic benchmarks I would have done better with a 3900X, maybe even a little bit in gaming, but not that much more. So as you can see, guys, like, the reason I'm not super disappointed in that decision is because for my particular workload and the games I play, I'm not going to see so much benefit from it. But again, I'm going to move on to something else here, which is temperatures. I know you guys are probably wondering what kind of temperatures I was getting while I was benchmarking, and I'll throw it up on the screen right here. When I booted up some kind of synthetic benchmark or any kind of game, you can see in the Ryzen Master here that it doesn't go anywhere above about 72 degrees C, and that's usually the max it is when it's completely taxed out. And for my system, being that it is kind of like this tempered glass case and it's not exactly made for airflow, that's perfectly fine with my AIO I got going on in there, and nothing actually threw up a red flag that was going on that the temps were too high, so I'm very pleased with it. Now on to something that doesn't have to do with gaming, and that is video editing. So like I said, my main use for my PC, other than, you know, the occasional game I like to play, is video editing because that's my main job. So again, I'm very impressed with the performance of this $320 chip versus the $500 chip that I could have got. Okay, I tested it in Premiere Pro, editing this video and editing actually another video I had to do for my work, and I rendered out a couple samples, and I noticed that with this computer, I am definitely cutting down my rendering time than it was before when I was editing 4K. So before on my old system, again, I used it with the Radeon 7, and I also used it with the the RTX 2080 with that old chip that I had, the Ryzen 7 1700. And my rendering times were typically, like, for 4K footage, it was typically like, say, if I had a 2-minute clip, it took 4 minutes. If I had a 10-minute clip, it took 20 minutes. So it was basically 2 to 1. So this now gives me a different ratio and a different lookout, because I did just basically almost like a 2.5 minute clip, and it only took about 3.5 minutes. So as you can see, it's definitely cutting down in the time that it's gonna take me to render stuff. So if you go that same token, a 2-minute clip only takes 3 minutes, it's gonna cut down my time when I edit bigger videos, kind of like this video right here. Now to sum all this up, again, I am very, very happy with the decision I made. I'm glad I saved 170 bucks on the processor. I'm glad I saved some money here and there on all the parts that I picked up. And overall, I am just very, very happy with my new system. I think at the end of the day, that's what it really comes down to. If I'm not satisfied with the system, then obviously it would be a wash, and I'd have to build another one. But for right now, this thing is going to be awesome. It's going to do well for me for a couple of years to come, or until I get an itch to build another one. And I'm really excited to use it in the upcoming months. So if you guys really enjoyed this video, you guys make sure you give me a like. Make sure you guys leave me some comments down below of what you guys want to see me do with this new system, or if you guys want some other information on how I built it or something like that, leave it down in the comments below and I will try to get back to you guys. If you guys are interested in any of the products that I put in my system right here, or any of the things that I actually use in my office, check my link down below. It is going to link you to my kit.com page, and everything that I use is on there, from my cameras to my desk setup, all of that. If you guys are curious about anything that I use or that is in my computer, it's on that link right there. So make sure you guys click on that, and then follow those links and purchase your products, because I am an Amazon affiliate now, like I said, and if you guys purchase something using those links, I get a little kickback, and that really helps the channel out, so I'd really appreciate it. But with all that out of the way, guys, I'm really excited that I finally got to bring this new build to you. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel with those notifications on, and I will see you guys in my next video. Later.